What is going on, guys? PXCam20 back in with a brand new video. We are here at Assetto Corsa Competizione, the PC edition, as we are in our Ferrari. I think this is the Ronaldo edition, as we're driving as David Perel. Shout out to David Perel. If you guys haven't watched any of his videos, go check some of his videos out, as we are going to be starting in third place here, as we did put a qualifying lap time of 2:01, and everybody else besides us did not get a qualifying lap in behind, I believe, 8th place. So it was kind of like an easy third place for us, as I know we could have pushed the car a little bit more and gotten at least a 2 minute, or if not a 1:59. But we're gonna see what we can do here, as we are gonna be starting in third and hopefully come out with a podium, and hopefully we don't get wrecked or spun out during this race, as there are a lot of people here in this lobby. So before we jump into the race, if you guys really enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video, as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so. Anyways, that's enough promoting myself. Let's jump straight into this race. As we are now coming to our rolling start here, we're shifting left and right the car to try to get some heat into our tires, as we want to get as much heat as we can before the start. As you can see, the McLaren ahead of us started in pole, and so is the Mercedes in the left hand side, as he's going to be starting second. So waiting for the green lights here, we are getting them now, and we are a go now as we head into the first corner. Coming to the first corner now, we're staying onto the inside. McLaren brakes very early, and we have to kind of avoid him there as we slam on the brakes, and that allows the Audi on the left hand side to get a good run coming out of turn number 1, and he's able to overtake us now as we head into Maggots and Beckett. So coming to Maggots here, we're able to hold off our position in 4th place, but unluckily we lost 3rd place to the Audi, as we did have to take evasive action from the McLaren ahead of us. And now we just have to focus on our sights here again, as there's a couple of yellow flags behind us. Not sure exactly what happened, but just trying to stay right behind the Audi now as we're coming down the hamstring, leading us into Stowe. Stay right behind the Audi now as we head into Stowe. We're going to try to take a peek onto the inside, but we back out of there. And the Audi actually misses his braking point. You can see he goes a little bit wide coming out of that corner, but he's coming into the chicane here, still ahead of us, and we're just going to follow along here as we're going to go single file heading into club now. So coming to chicane here, the Audi actually outbrakes himself, and we're trying to see if we can make a move onto the inside and try to gain some time on him, and we're able to do so, but we can't make any moves here as we head into club, as it's just more of a single file line as we come out of here, leading us into Abbey, and we're just going to stay right behind the Audi. So coming into lap number 2 now as we head into Maggots and Beckett's again. The Audi gets very loose. Not sure exactly what happened, but we have to slam on the brakes again. As you can see, the top two are now starting to pull away from us, as we are just trying to avoid the Audi and trying to avoid making any type of collision here, as we're just staying right behind him now, as we almost ran into the back of him coming out of Beckett's. But we're just going to follow him right behind us. He's taking a very narrow entrance as he moved to the right, but shifted back to the left as we head into Stowe. And he actually outbrakes himself here, as we're going to move on to the inside, try to make the overtake here, as we're going side by side now coming out of the right-hander. We're giving him space on the inside, and we're going to have to back out of here as we're coming to chicane, as he's got the inside line, and we're just going to follow right behind him here, try to get a cut back, but unfortunately we are unable to do so here as we're coming into club, and we're just going to follow right behind him and just keep following him here, as we're going to try to look for another opportunity to try to make an overtake on him now as we come into Abbey and Farm Curve. So coming to Abbey here, you can see he goes very wide coming into that corner, and you can see the bad exit that he actually got here as we're going to come into the right-hander. So coming to this right-hander here, we're just staying right behind the bumper. We're just following him and trying to put some pressure onto him, and trying to push him basically into an accident, or just into a mistake, as we're just following him here. But he gets a really good exit coming out of that corner, and now we're just gonna have to follow him now as we head into the straightaway. So coming into, I believe this is lap number 3, we're staying right behind the Audi as we're coming back into Maggots and Beckett's, and we're just gonna see if we have to slam down onto the brakes again. We actually have to, as the Audi is not getting a really good turn in into the couple of corners right there. Not sure exactly what's going on there. I'm just noticing that. So every single time we come into Maggots and Beckett's, we're getting very close to him, almost smacking to the back of him. But you can see how good of a run we come out when we come out of a Chapel curve and heading into Stowe. You can see how close we are now as we're trying to make a move onto the inside. So coming to the inside here of Stowe, we're trying to make a move onto the inside, as we're going to now be headed out onto the outside again. Coming to a chicane, we let the Audi outbrake us, and you can see that he goes very wide again coming out of the corner, and we get a great exit here as we get very close to his back bumper and just staying right behind him like glue. as we're just gonna try to force him into another mistake here, as we're just staying right behind him now as we head into Abbey. Coming into Abbey, we try to shift it to the left as much as we can without touching that grass, and you can see the Audi gets very, very loose, and he almost takes us out. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, as we're going to jump into the replay. Jumping into the replay, we're looking from the overhead shot. You can see he just goes into Abbey too hot, almost takes us out. You can see how close it was on the replay here that he almost hit us and spun us out there, but luckily that's going to be enough for us to get third place as we're coming now into the left-hander here and jumping into the final part of the race. So coming to the end here, coming out of the final corner on the final lap, we weren't able to catch up to the top two, but we are at least able to secure our position and hold off everybody else for an easy podium finish on our first race, as we're now going to jump into our second race. So jumping into our second race here, we are starting, I believe, in 6th place. I'm not sure exactly what happened, as there was a little bit of jumble on the start. But coming into turn number 1 now for the first time in our second race, we are actually getting pressure underneath by a Porsche, I believe, as we're heading to Maggots and Beckett's for the first time again on the second race. Staying on the inside of the Porsche here, we let him go through, as you see there's a blue Porsche to the left hand side. Not sure exactly what happened to him, and we're able to gain a position there, as we did lose one to the Porsche to the right hand side, as we are staying on the outside here. Not sure exactly what happens to the Audi right ahead of us, but you can see he spins out too, and that's another position for us now as we're getting pressure from behind, I believe by a Ferrari, as we are starting to get pressured again. Keeping on to the inside, as we're going to defend our position as we head into Stowe. We're staying right behind the Porsche, and the Ferrari tries to make a move onto the outside here as we head into Stowe, and we are able to hold off our position as we did a good defensive line, and able to hold our 5th place here as we come into chicane for the first time on the second race. So coming to the chicane now, we get a mirror full of the Ferrari right there. So he gets very, very close right there and almost takes us out as we head into club. And we're able to hold him off here as we're coming to the middle part of lap number 1. So coming to this left-hander, we actually get tapped from behind, and we get taken out by the Ferrari. And we are now stuck on the outside as we're just waiting for a gap. And let's see in the replay exactly what happened. We just go take our normal line. The Ferrari misses his braking point, gets hit by the Porsche, hits us out, and then just goes off to the right hand side. I believe he just kind of quit after that. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but we try to get back onto the track, and you can see that we just have too much rear heat on the tires, and we end up just spinning ourselves out again. We're just waiting for everyone to pass through, and we get hit by a Porsche. Not sure exactly how the Porsche hit us, but jeez, we just get hit by the Porsche. Points us into the right direction, and we are demoted all the way back into 21st, as we are now going to have to claw our way back to the top 10 as we are following the Honda NSX right ahead of us. So coming to this left-hander here as we're following the NSX, he gets a really bad exit there as we're just almost running to the back of him. Not sure exactly why everyone's having so much trouble with that corner. There's a spinning McLaren on the left-hand side. Passing the McLaren now, so we're staying right behind the Honda NSX as we head into Stowe. Moving on to the inside right here as we get a really good run. We're trying to make an overtake now on Stowe, and we're able to do so here as we brake as late as we can and make an easy overtake on the Honda. As you can see, there's another car on the right hand side spinning out. Not sure exactly what's going on. Everyone's just spinning out left and right, and we are promoted into 14th place now as we jump into lap number 3. So coming to lap number 3 as we're heading to club again. You can see there's a pack of cars right ahead of us that we're catching up to as they're racing really, really hard. So we're just going to keep an eye on them. Hopefully they don't end up spinning each other out and causing us to wreck, but we're just going to see if we can try to easily maneuver our way through these cars and try to get back into the top 10, as that is, I believe, a fight for 8th place. So coming into Abbey again, you can see that they're going side by side, a couple of cars ahead of us, as one of them goes off course there. We're just trying to catch up to them now as we're heading into this right-hander right here. Coming to the right-hander, we brake as late as we can. You can see how much time we're gaining on the McLaren right ahead of us, as we're going to try to take a peek onto the inside as he's getting held up by the Porsche. Moving on to the inside here, we're going side by side as we come out of the corner, but the McLaren gets a better exit than us, and we just have to fall right back in line as we are now part of this pack here, fighting for 8th place, I believe, as we come down to the straightaway leading us into Luffield. So coming to left field now, we're staying to the inside right here as the McLaren outbrakes himself a little bit, and he actually gets a really bad exit. We're going to make a move onto the inside here. Coming to the inside into the right-hander, we're just staying right beneath him as we're going to try to overtake him here as he gets a really bad exit. And now we're going side by side here as we're coming to the final corner, leading us into the start-finish line for our 3rd lap. Staying right next to him here, we're able to make the overtake. As you can see, he's trying to make a cut back onto the inside as we come into turn number 1. But coming into turn number 1, we're able to hold him off there as we are now promoted into 13th place and leading us back into Maggots and Beckett's. So you can see right ahead of us, there's an Audi that's slow. As you can see, they're still causing a little bit of chaos with each other as they're making side-by-side moves. As you can see, one of the Porsche gets very loose, and that makes the Audi go on his brakes. We have to slam on our brakes as we take evasive action too, and we were able to make the overtake on the Porsche that spun out, but we almost ran into the back of the Audi, so that was very close there, as we're now getting pressure from behind by a Lamborghini. As we're going to keep it on the outside here, as the Lamborghini is taking a peek onto the inside. The Lamborghini takes a peek onto the inside, but he actually overdrives it as he goes onto our line, and we end up making contact with him and spinning him out as we go into the replay. You can see that we keep it onto the outside, but he just comes in a little too hot, goes straight into our line, and that was the result there. As you can see, he goes very wide, and there was just basically nothing I can do there, as I was just holding my line, and he came up into us as we're starting to get pressured again by the McLaren. So getting pressured by the McLaren on the outside, we're trying to squeeze him out there as he's staying onto our outside here as we're coming to the final corner, and we're able to get a good run coming out. As you can see, we're staying right in front of him as there's a slow Audi right ahead of us. Not sure exactly what we're doing, as we slam on the brakes, and so does the McLaren right behind us. Luckily we don't get hit out, as not sure exactly what happened to the Audi, but we're able to avoid him, and the McLaren was able to avoid us, so we're able to get into here cleanly. As you can see right now, the Audi outbrakes himself, almost takes out the Audi right ahead of us and the Ferraris. They're making contact with him, and that's kind of jumbling some things up as we're trying to make a move onto the inside of the Audi, and we accidentally hit the rumble strips, go flying in the air, and now we're going to lose 3 or 4 positions because of that costly mistake as we're now heading into Abbey. And that was all our fault. We're just too distracted with everything that's happening right ahead of us. As you can see, more chaos is happening, more carnage as 3 cars actually get spun out coming out of Abbey, and we had to slow down there, take evasive action. Luckily we were able to get through it cleanly as we're starting to get pressured again by the spinning Lamborghini right behind us as he makes an overtake onto the inside here. We're going to make a cutback as we come out of the left-hander, and the Lamborghini slams into us. We almost lose as we're coming to the left-hander, but we're able to keep it together. As not sure exactly what happens, we come into the replay. The Lamborghini makes a move onto the inside, goes very wide, clips the grass, and then hits us, as I believe he just clipped the grass, got very loose, and spun right into us. And luckily we did not get taken out because of that, but we do have some damage on the right hand side because of that, as that is the second time we made contact with the Lamborghini in this race. So very unfortunate for that Lamborghini, as he's been on the worst end of the stick both times that he's made contact with us. But we just have to continue moving forward here as we're now starting to pressure the Ferrari as we head into club. So coming into club, you can see the Porsche makes contact with the McLaren right ahead of us as they go spinning, and we take it the inside line there, as that was the best move there, as we made an overtake on the Ferrari and the 2 spinning cars and are promoted all the way up into 9th place now as we are coming into Abbey here. So very lucky turn of events for us here as we're coming now into the final lap. On the final lap, we're trying to catch up to the Porsche right ahead of us, as we're going to try to get an 8th place finish here as we're running very low on fuel as we come into club for the final time. Heading to the left-hander and to the right-hander of the chicane. We're just staying right behind the Porsche as we're getting a ton of time on him, but we're also just keeping an eye on the fuel, as we are very low on fuel right now. And you can see we're getting the warnings blinked up on the dashboard right there. Coming to Abbey for the final time, we're trying to just see if we can push the car as much as we can and try to catch up to the Porsche, as we are almost to his back bumper now as we come into the right-hander. Coming to his little chicane part right here, we're coming to the right-handers, we're staying right behind the Porsche, and you can see that he's holding the insides, he's trying to defend his line, and we're going to try to make a cutback the same way we did to the Lamborghini, but he goes very wide, and just like the Lamborghini, clips the grass, spins out, and almost takes us out. As you can see, he goes into the grass, gets onto the throttle, almost takes us out, and we are able to get an 8th place because of that, as we are now coming to the final time into left field and into the final few corners. So just coming down the straightaway, we just have to hold it together now as we come into the final corner, and we're able to do so here as we're coming to the start finish line. We are able to finish this race in 8th place after getting taken out on the first lap, going all the way back to, I believe, 21st position, and just fighting our way back for a top 10 finish. So very lucky for us, as we did avoid the rest of the carnage that was going on. We're able to make some good overtakes on the final race there, and luckily we were able to finish in 8th place, as I wish we could have finished at least on a podium, as we were up in the front in the beginning of the race before we got taken out. So again, I'm just finding a new love for Assetto Corsa Competizione, as I've just been having a lot of fun races, and it's a really fun game. I mean, I like the fact that we have a lot of cars on this game, the fact that there's a lot of clean racing. I mean, some lobbies you get some carnage like you did on this one, but for most of the time, it is clean racing. It's just sometimes people make mistakes and end up taking each other out. And you know, sometimes you get results like this where it's just a lot of cars trying to race in the same spot, and you just get some mistakes like that where a lot of cars get taken out. But again, just finding a lot of respect for this game as I'm just been playing it a lot more lately. And yeah, if you guys really enjoy the content, again, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. And if you guys want to support the channel, I did leave a link to on Patreon down below in the description. And if you guys enjoyed it, I hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace out.